It's really nice to meet you.
Hvad?
Amiga. Jeg tror lige, at jeg skal skrue lidt op på hans lyd. Skal du gætte, hvordan han har det nu? Nej, hvad nu?
Goddag. Ja. Ja.
This is Zeno. He has a name, he has an attitude, he's always kind, he's just needs a good Wi-Fi.
I'm a humanoid robot. I like to train kids. I teach kids many things. One of them is social behavior, like feelings.
Kan du blinke med dine øjne?
Ja.
Dyreomgang.
Hvad sker der nu? Hvad sker der nu?
He didn't have any language and was not so good at concentrating. And we could see after working with Zeno for a period of 3-4 months, he learned to pronounce several words and some noises. And he also at the start he could concentrate in an activity for 5 minutes, but after the 3-4 months he could stay in the activity for half an hour.
Ja.
4.
5, 6, 7, 8,
9.
9.
Hvor er han langsom, hva'? 10. Det var godt.
Rimer på dit navn.
Hvad rimer på dit navn? Markus
Raspel.
Raspel. Markus Parkus.
Raspel.
Raspel.
Zeno has been introduced in Bonnehuset Microvine, a kindergarten in Faxe 6 months ago. It mainly assists children with difficulties in learning language and emotions. As most social robots, it still has to be remotely controlled. Gunfa Maigor is a professor who does research on the use of social robots in education. To her mind, they should be used in a very specific way.
I think social robots should be used as a tool. It should be used like a computer or a calculator, something like that, to make our daily life easier, to use the complex technology a tool for us as humans to grow, so to speak.
The children who respond positively to the social robots, their communication skills develops, their impulses will be developed in a positive way, learning to taking turn. The concentration, attention skills can be developed in a positive way, and the verbalization of speaking more. Or for instance, if you have an ASD and you are also very challenged vocally, you are perhaps very repetitive. You say the same words all the time, or you say the same sounds all the time. This one can be a breaker. It can go in and break that kind of an attitude.
The Danish Trade Union for Kindergarten Teachers is more cautious about introducing robots. They say they don't want to see a robot taking over a teacher's task.
I think I'm quite convinced that it's impossible to replace a teacher, a pedagogue, with a robot in some ways, because you don't have this empathic. They are not human beings.
It's important for humans to be attached to other humans, and we can't replace. I don't think we can replace that with a robot. I don't think that a robot can be a real companion, a real teacher for children.
Jeg ser ham oppe i panden, han er helt super oppe i panden.
Of course, we agree that children should primarily interact with other children, but if we have children that don't profit of interacting with other children, then we can see that the robot can give them some skills and learn some new things. We think it's a good equipment, but of course it cannot go and replace interacting children.
The Suhao Center, an elderly home in Karise, uses another form of social robot, the Beam. It allows users to connect with each other through its screen, just like Skype. The robot can be navigated remotely on the computer at home.
I live in France. I am 250 kilometers south of Paris. So going to Denmark, it's not very far in a way, but it's complicated, you know. And I think Beam helps a lot. You're much closer, and you can laugh at things, and it's more fun talking, I think.
The elderly Elsa Christensen said she was happy to talk to her daughter through the Beam. However, she was unable to talk on camera due to her health conditions. Liz Kramer, head nurse of the elderly center, introduced the Beam 5 months ago. She feels that the elderly can benefit from it.
I think it's because of the life quality the elder people get when they use the robot. When they communicate with their family.
But there are also downsides to the use of robots.
It's very strange and familiar to them with a robot come talking to them. It's a bit strange, yeah.
They don't have the warm hands, and they can't get nurturing or something from the robots.
I think it's important with the personal contact to the elderly, so not too much of the robots taken over.
However, there are many ways how this new technology might help in the future.
Instead of the elder people are going to hospital to talk to a doctor or something, then we can use the robot and they can connect in that way. They have a doctor in this town in Karise, and he is coming to examine or what with the elder people, and some of his visit could be exchanged with contact with robots.
The Danish Nurses Organization says that social robots might assist doctors if the patients have simple medical conditions. Simon Christensen, political consultant of the organization, believes that the Beam is more user-friendly for the elderly than Skype.
If you want to use Skype, you have the elderly person also, or the patient has to do something with their computer. So that's kind of a demand to make that work. The way I see this, you can just activate, turn on the robot, and the camera works, and the whole interface is working, and then you can just roll it out and say hi to the patient.
However, he believes that a visit on the screen cannot replace a face-to-face consultation.
An elderly person with maybe multiple medical conditions, it can be very difficult to treat that person via Skype. We don't get the face-to-face contact, we don't get that general medical assessment of a person that you get when you sit down, watch them, watch their body language, their skin color, their eyes, blank eyes, red eyes. All those things are very difficult to see.
He told me it was his best friend, Sina. Yeah. He was very nice of him.
Trina said the boy called Sino his best friend when the robot asked him. But still, the boy also interacts with other children and attends lessons with them.
We need to be among other people. We need to be, it's also for me very important that the children are with other children. It's very, very good. You can make researches about it, that it's very clear that children who are among other children, they are better prepared for going to school, better prepared to be part of a family, better prepared to do their, well, behave in the society in general.
I haven't seen a robot that could do the job. You know, being a teacher is a very complicated job actually, and I think so far the social robots are just too simple.
I'm a robot, not a human.
Hence, until social robots might become more dominant in everyday life, more has to be done.
It's all about talk. Talk about this, explain it, explain the potentials.
To get the relatives to know it better, to maybe we should have some sort of meeting where they can be told about the possibilities with the beam.
I think here in the beginning we have to be very, well, not afraid, but we have to be, look at each concrete examples and try to understand what is the basic thing about this idea and how can it influence children's environment.
In the future, people expect social robots to be...
Well, terribly useful, I think, with the people living in other countries, children moving out of their home countries and everything. I think they'll be very, very useful.
They can supplement the staff in a good way. It can be a good supplement, yeah, but not a substitute.
I think it is very useful already, and it will be more useful in the future.
I hope that robots can be a supplement in the environment for children.
Social robots can and will be used as a tool for humans now and in the future.
In the future, the social robots will have no limits.
Thank you for today. It has been good, fun. Take care. Goodbye.